The following video is based on a true story.
Shut up!
It was summertime, so I was hanging out with Anthony and Brian, our Mormon friend. We were 15 and we had nothing to do, summer, we didn't have much money. And so we had these water balloons, and so we were like, well, let's just go to the school and play this little game where like one person tries to get to the other side of the school without getting hit by water balloons. Me and our Mormon friend Brian were up on the roof of the school throwing water balloons down at Anthony. And all of a sudden we hear this guy screaming at us. I look over and there's some gigantic lard ass with his wife and 2 kids coming home from the public pool. This humongous whale of a person starts screaming at me to get down from the roof of the school. So I got down from the roof and I look around and our Mormon friend Brian is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, he pulled a total bitch move and just ran away. Now let me clarify something about the Mormons that I grew up around. There's 2 different kinds of Mormons. The good Mormon kids and the bad Mormon kids. The good Mormon kids, they do all the stuff that Mormons are supposed to do. They don't watch rated R movies, they don't do drugs, they don't have sex until they're married, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Then there's the bad Mormon kids. These kids, they do every possible drug they can get their hands on, and they're boning everything that walks the earth. That might be a slight exaggeration, but you get the point. Anyway, Brian was one of the good Mormon kids, so I assumed he didn't want to get in trouble for what might possibly be illegal. Anyway, this colossal beast is just screaming hysterically at us, and he pushes Anthony and I into a wall. And he's like, "You fucking kids are vandalizing school property! I'm gonna call the cops!" And I was like, we aren't really vandalizing anything, we're just kind of running around the school. And I guess at some point in this guy screaming like an enraged animal of some sort, I guess Anthony decided he had enough of this and he tries to leave. And then this is when things get really crazy. This gargantuan Goliath fat guy grabs Anthony and puts him in a chokehold. And remember, this guy's wife and 2 kids are watching this whole thing. And Anthony starts freaking out, and the guy's wife is like, "Phil, stop it!" I don't really remember the guy's name. I just kind of felt like Phil was an appropriate name for a fat-ass douchebag. No offense to anybody named Phil who wasn't fat or a douchebag. So anyway, his wife is like, "Phil, stop it!" And he's like, "Back off, Cheryl! I'll snap his neck!" Anthony's scared because some guy is about to kill him. I'm scared because I'm probably going to be the next to die. And our Mormon friend Brian was probably scared because he might get grounded and not be able to read the Book of Mormon before bed or something like that. I don't know. So luckily he didn't snap Anthony's neck just yet. He looks at me and he's like, "You guys are in big trouble. What's your name?" And usually in these cases, when you're put in these sort of situations, you give him like a fake name, like Brad Pitt or Milo Ventimiglia. How does his last name go? It's like Milo Ventimiglia. I don't know. Anyway, so of course I was scared shitless, so I gave him my full real name. Yeah, I know, really smart. And then he looks down at Anthony, who he's, still strangling, and he's like, "Okay, what's your name?" And Anthony mutters, "Bob." He says his name is Bob. Of all the possible first names, Bob is the one that he comes up with. I really have no idea. And then he asks, "What's your last name?" And this is the thing that I thought was going to get us for sure killed. Because Anthony said his last name was Jones. That means his name is Bob Jones. Bob Jones is just about the most generic possible name anybody could come up with. I was like, alright, that's it. We're dead. We are definitely dead now. And he says, "Okay, Bob Jones." He actually believed it. "Where do you live?" And so, Anthony gives him some equally crappy fake address. It was probably something like 1234 Street. So he lets him go, and he's like, if I ever see you guys here again, there will be hell to pay. Like he's some sort of comic book villain. So Anthony and I are walking back to the house, you know, just glad we're not dead. And guess who's at the front of our house? Oh, that's right, it's our Mormon friend Brian, just chilling there like nothing happened. And, you know, normally I would have punted his stupid head right off of his body, but I was just happy to be alive, and I forgave him for being such an insufferable pussy. Plus, he offered to buy us milkshakes afterwards, so that was pretty cool. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you're gonna harass a couple of innocent teenagers, make sure they don't find out where you live, because they might just TP your house. A lot. It was lunchtime and the escape plan was set in motion. Anthony and I were gonna ditch school and be the first in our school to get the greatest and most important thing in our lives, Halo 2. The first 10 kids to buy the game got a custom-made Master Chief helmet too. Yes! Our friend Jesse was gonna pick me and Anthony up at the front of the school because we didn't drive yet, which I know was lame, but of course the bonus to this was we had super buff calf muscles. The first Halo was just about as important to me and my friends as, I don't know, getting LA Gear light-up shoes when we were 7, but getting Halo 2 was like seeing a monkey do the pop and lock on fire on a space shuttle. And in case you didn't know, that's pretty f***ing awesome. Anyway, as we began our escape, we spotted our nemesis, Large Marge. Large Marge was the meanest, toughest, and worst hall monitor of all time. As an ex-military commando, she had worked out her upper body so much that her spindly little legs couldn't hold up her upper body, so she always drove around in this golf cart. I heard that a long time ago, she caught a kid cutting class and beat his face up so bad that he wasn't even recognizable as a human. That kid was Mickey Rourke. Anyway, Large Marge was the only thing standing between us and sweet, sweet freedom. We saw Jesse waiting in his car, so Anthony and I took a loud cliche gulp and made a run for it. Large Marge spotted us and put the pedal to the metal. Luckily, she had to do a 35-point turn to turn around. We then jumped over a rail and hauled ass towards Jesse's car. Large Marge then barreled through the railing and started gaining on us. So in the end, I got my copy of Halo 2 and the Master Chief helmet. But when I got home, the school called my mom about me cutting class. She knew how important the game was to me, so my punishment was that I couldn't play the game for the rest of the day. And all I have to say about that is that if my crotch was set on fire, it would have been easier to take. Later that night, I snuck out into the living room and played my beloved Halo 2 until the sun came up. And it was there, on my couch in those early hours in the morning, that I realized just how special playing Halo online was.
Oh, you You used the Hey, you're team killing! Stop team killing, you noob! I'm on your side!
Shut up, you friggin' faggots!
You shut up, faggot!
No, you're the faggot!
No,
I know you shut up!
You can't be
Shut up! And it was also the day I broke my Master Chief helmet. So I guess the moral of the story is, don't ditch class, because it might just be the day that they actually show boobs in sex ed. What? We were like 14, okay?
It was another boring school day in gym class. We were doing tennis that day and Ian was paired as my teammate. We were walking to the courts and I was telling him how excited I was because I was going to be on the news later that night. I was being interviewed for this internet game that I made where you basically explode the heads of one of our teachers. This teacher was out to make everyone's life a living hell though. Like this one time I guess I answered a math problem incorrectly, so she jumped on my desk, sat like a gargoyle and asked,
What's the matter? Do you need to go back to the retard school?
Anyway, I was telling Ian about how I'm gonna be on the news, and he's like, check out my backhand, and hits me right in the face. I kept my cool about it though. So I touched my mouth, and I realized my freaking front tooth was missing. The first thing I thought was, great, now I look like a pirate. And I'm not talking about the Johnny Depp Disney pirate that girls drool over. I'm talking about the kind you get herpes from just by looking at him. When I got back home, the reporter was already there waiting to do the interview. Of course, I was still freaking out about my tooth being missing, so Ian tried to help me find a replacement tooth. Wadded paper, a carrot, my mom's wedding ring, even a cutout piece of my dad's credit card. We tried basically everything, and the only thing that would fit correctly was a Lego head. It looked really stupid, but Ian convinced me that if I just didn't smile, it wouldn't be too noticeable. When I finally did the interview, the reporter was mainly criticizing me for making a game where you blow up a teacher. Then she started asking me some really weird questions. Do you worship the devil? No. Then what is that? Oh no, that's my brother's. Sup? So at some point during this interview, my Lego tooth comes loose and I inhale it. So Ian runs up and does what he thinks is the Heimlich maneuver. My eye! Hey, I look like a pirate, don't I? Yup. Arr, then that makes two of us, matey! Anyway, I eventually got my tooth fixed, but I still look like a pirate whenever I go under a black light. So, I guess the moral of the story is black lights reveal the truth about everything. So, don't use one in your parents' bedroom. Oh my god. Oh my god!
Ever since began, the most requested thing has been... And now it's a reality.
I just my pants!
Click the link in the description below to check it out. And now, the outtakes.
I know what you're thinking. Oh, why is this man so fat? Well, I'm fat because I have a thyroid problem, you dick! Star Wars sucks compared to Star Trek. I'll give you one reason why Star Trek rocks. William freaking Shatner. So there, Star Trek rules. And Luke Skywalker kissed his sister. Gross! Anti-disestablishmentarianism is 28 letters long! Did you know that? I don't think so! I'm sorry for screaming at you guys like this, but I have a rare disorder where I can only scream! I can't even recall the last time I was able to talk in a normal voice! Sometimes I cry at night, and I don't have any friends! Do you guys want to be my friends?
Don't make fun of my voice!
What the heck, guys? My nipples look like baby bottle tips! I've ran out of things to say!
I'm gonna kill your ass, you son of a bitch! Ah, die!
Large Marge? Is that you?
You used the noob combo! You are such a cheating asshole!
It's not my fault that you suck.
Alright, Ian, is that you?
Dad? What are you doing on here?
Well, you know, every once in a while I like to pwn a couple noobs, you know?
Dad, this is kind of weird.
Hey, f***its! Why don't you go suck each other's somewhere else?
Oh, good one, man. Hey, shut up! I will kill your family!
Dad, calm down.
No! They offended me, okay? They offended me!
Dad, they're just...
Shut up! Ha ha! Your dad's dumb! Hey, everybody. Oh my god, a girl! She's mine, everybody! She's my girlfriend! She left. What a f***it!
Come on, we can all just be respectful.
Shut the f*** up, f***it! I will f*** you in the face! And I know what that is, cause I'm 13! Yeah, I'm grown up! I've got, like, hecka pubes down there!
Oh, yeah, man, pubes.
Hey, shut the f*** up! I don't like you either!
You know what, Ian, I think I'm just gonna go. This game's kind of...
Annoying?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I'm done with this piece of crap.
You guys just quit it because you're
Hey, do you want to know why we're alone in the cafeteria?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's because school's been out for 2 hours. Hi-ya! You wanna know how I lick an ice cream cone? Like this.
Dude, I just got this new health insurance and it can cover everything, and I mean...
Even brain damage?
Hi-ya! You like it when I crouch on your desk, don't you? Oh yeah, I can tell because you're shaking your little hand like that.
Hey, you want to know how many hookers I killed last night?
How many?
Well, it was 1, but it became 2 when I ran the other one over.
Hi-ya! 1 apple a day keeps a doctor away.
Do you have any idea who this cameraman is?
I thought he was with you.
No, he's not, and he's making very strange noises.
Yeah, spread those legs a little bit more, boy.
Wow, that was kind of weird.
I don't know, I thought it was pretty hot.
Hey, dude, guess how many STDs I got?
7?
Well, I was gonna say 2, but I'm a virgin.
Hi-ya! I'm trying super hard to hold in a fart right now. Oops.